trim or flight. Whiskey round table. Oh, Greg, Karen, and the Whiskey Wizard talking facts and tastings. They've got you covered. Whiskey round table. Oh.
Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts,
Big G,
Karen Helen Keller,
Doug Dunbar.
and our no guest.
No guest tonight.
guest
Just
tonight.
the three of us.
That's what I'm talking
Here
about. Well,
on
we have
our
one in the
11th.
audience. We have Miss
we
Marion
got
in
my
the audience.
gal out
Our
there.
11th show of the year, and it's already, well, not quite, but practically May. It's hard to believe.
Yep.
Practically May.
Practically May.
And it's a big weekend here in Cleveland because we've got the draft going on. So I thought it was only appropriate that I was drinking Loggerheads Brewing Company Feeling Dangerous, like Baker Mayfield. And it is 6% alcohol, number 6. So
Democratic beer.
it is not. It's beer. I mean, there's alcohol in beer. It's all
Okay.
good.
Some
It's all
people-
good.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. So here we are.
Here
It's
we
been
are.
a week.
Yeah.
So Doug, do you have any knowledge or wisdom to share with us?
Let's see, knowledge. Knowledge is a fruit. No. Let's see. I'll think of something.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing not to use it in a fruit salad.
What are you drinking over
That's
there?
what you told me to set up for. That was it. That was it. He's like, here, Karen, you need to ask me.
Don't quit pulling back the veil now.
Oh, my God.
Don't pull back the veil. Okay.
Well, I will speak for myself. I am wound today. It was like the first time I slept all through the night, like, I don't know, 2 years. So, like, I'm a little crazy. How about you guys?
I had a shitty day today,
What happened?
so I'm angry.
What happened?
Just one of them days.
Woke up married? What's going on? I can see you on the camera over here.
No, honey, you know I love you.
Well, you'll have that. You'll have some days like that.
Yeah. How about yours?
Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
Oh, my goodness.
It started off a little rough this morning. I had a whole thing of French press coffee, and I was putting something away
French press
and knocked the
coffee's good.
whole. Just had poured it all, was ready to plunge it, and knocked the whole thing on the floor and onto my feet. And,
Did you break it?
Did you have your socks on?
Did you have your socks on?
Did you have
I had
socks on?
bare feet.
Bare feet.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
because if
I
you had
didn't-
socks on, that would really suck.
luckily,
Don't you have a dog?
Huh?
Do you have a dog?
Yeah, but
Done deal.
yeah, here, drink up all this coffee.
Hurry up, Shauna. Let's get in on this. We can be a party.
Oh, yeah, the coffee grounds in there too.
Yeah, well, it's loaded.
Oh, perfect.
Before you press it. and-
Yeah.
I'm not that
Yeah.
fancy. I don't know.
Anyway,
Those are good presses.
It was a rough start.
That's what Ralph uses, sidecar. He
I
uses
said,
that
"Oh
press.
gosh, darn it," a few times, and
Oh, you must have been really pissed.
oh, I was.
Well, I'll tell you what. I woke up this morning, rolled over, and
Ask
saw
Shauna.
Karen. I said the same GD thing you did. Damn it, really?
Like, you still here? And I farted. Yes, I'm sorry.
Farted. Yeah. She farted. Even the dog got up and all disgusted, walked away. I can't believe it.
How do you think I get the bed to myself?
Oh, amen. Anyway,
Right.
Wow.
enough of our stupid slapstick.
So what are you
humor.
smoking, G? What's
I'm smoking a knockoff cigars. These are, how do I say it? Cigars that are given to us for testing and different things like that. Like, how to, what's the, is it a good body cigar? Is it good flavor? Is it burning well? Da-da-da-da-da. This is actually an 829. I don't know who's making the 829, but...
I'm sorry, what's an 829? Is that refer to the size?
Let me start over. So this is a 829, which I don't know what that means or what 829 is, but it's burning nice. It's oily. It's actually really, really good. It's very consistent. So I don't know where this is going to play into the cigar world, but that's what I'm smoking. I know absolutely nothing about it because I don't get anything on it. So that's all.
Do you like it?
It actually burns very well. The structure is very good. Yes, I do
Taste.
enjoy it. It's oily. It's very good.
I don't know. Like, cigars aren't oily to me. I don't. That's not a description that I. Never mind.
Well, yeah, you'll
Stick to beer. I'll stick
June,
to
we'll
cigars.
talk
You
about
stick to beer.
I could do that.
Oh my goodness.
You heard him. Stick
Boy,
to beer.
can she.
Anyway,
All right.
you could tell he is grumpy today. You did have a grumpy day today.
Oh, you asking me dumb questions?
Well, no, I'm not. I don't know cigars.
Well, if you listen, maybe you hear me say something.
Wait a minute. Since
I
we're
thought-
on cigars,
Check. Okay. Well, the mic's working. Good.
what about this? Never mind. So the news came out today. The FDA is now telling us no more menthol cigarettes and no more flavored cigars. I am completely heartbroken because I'm always smoking flavored cigars. So I don't have a lot of details, and I don't know if you guys know because it just came out today.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
So I don't know when. I don't know what's included in flavored cigars, but I'm always doing, the Tatianas, or I'm doing the acids or the Javas. And if any of those are gone, I'm going to be SOL because...
Oh, you mean no more as in
Flavored
outlawed?
Well,
Don't-
Or do you mean just it's not a good idea?
I don't know how that's. I don't think that's
like
how.
taking it off the shelf is how I understand. How do you understand?
Well, I think they can try to take it off the shelf, but I can't imagine they would, because that'd be like, taking brands away from Chevrolet or Ford. Well, you know what? Because of whatever, we're not going to make the 150 pickup truck anymore. You're not allowed to make that truck anymore. Bullshit. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we'll be there tomorrow for the
I'm sure that
Kentucky
this-
Derby, so we're going to stock
I'm sure
up.
that the science behind it is very sound and well peer reviewed. No
Well,
politics involved. I'm sure.
No, of course not.
It's kind of like what we've seen over the last year or so with COVID. I'm sure it's all
Well,
It's all on the up
consistent,
and up.
and everybody knows what they're talking about.
right.
Okay, so we have a little quick message, and then
We do.
we'll be right back. So see you in a few.
See you in a couple minutes, kids.
Hi, it's me, Doug, the Whiskey Wizard. I just wanted to give you all a quick heads up about some special things we have coming up. First, our next show, May 7th, for Mother's Day weekend, we're having a bit of a ladies' night on the Whiskey Roundtable. We'll have a lady guest on the live show, and the Whiskey Wizard will feature the topic of women and whiskey. And the following week's show, we'll celebrate our friends up north and their Canadian whiskey. Finally, the whole month of June will be Cigar and Whiskey Month here on the Whiskey Roundtable. These two things are famously linked, and with good reason. On the Wizard, we will have episodes for each Friday in June, dealing with the topic of cigars and pairing fine cigars and fine whiskey. This was one of my biggest undertakings with the Whiskey Wizard to date, and I had help from everybody on the Whiskey Roundtable and a few good friends putting it all together. We're really excited about this, and we sincerely hope you'll enjoy these as much as we did in planning them and making it all happen. And after that, I've got some science around ice and cooling your dram, a home whiskey aging test, and another interesting product review or two in the near future. And if that's not enough, we're going to go out and do a few more tasting events where we'll put some iconic whiskeys like Blanton's and Johnny Walker Blue to the taste test. Oh, and later on tonight's show, we'll be discussing the deal with blended whiskeys. Class or pass? If you enjoy the show, please pass on the word to a few friends that you think might also appreciate what we do here, and better yet, invite them over to watch the show with you. Look, it takes viewers and views to keep this whole thing going, so help us to continue to expand our audience as well as the things we can accomplish with the show in the name of whiskey appreciation. If you can't watch live, watch it at a later time when you can relax and fully enjoy it. All our episodes are there on YouTube anytime for your enjoyment. Providing you with a time most Fridays for sharing a love of whiskey and a few laughs, that's what keeps us all going here on the Whiskey Roundtable. That's all for now. Thanks to all our viewers. And now, back to the live show.
Now you got me excited for the next couple
Got
months.
some big things coming up here on
Who are those
Whiskey
three
Roundtable.
good-looking guys on there?
I know.
That first guy is, man, that's celebrity material right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Are you talking about Doug?
Yeah, Doug.
He was the first guy.
He's got to have the hat on, right?
Yeah, that
Okay.
All right, Big G, you demand.
Wait a minute. There
Dumb
you go.
man.
Too funny.
So we're gonna do. This is a whiskey show, and we got some.
We got whiskey?
Whiskey to taste tonight, right?
Yeah, we do actually. What do you?
But before we,
I don't know, where do we start?
So, what whiskey are we doing today?
Well,
We're
you know what?
drinking
Why don't we let the bottle?
Let's
Black
let the
Velvet.
bottle cam tell
Black
us, shall
Velvet.
we?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Wrong drink. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
So yes, we
Yes.
are doing Dickel 12.
George Dickel 12, yes.
Not to be confused with 12 year, which I will talk a little
Right.
bit about. It's just number
Not
12.
a
Like
12-year-old whiskey, so, which is, I don't know, we could argue if that's, I don't know, a little
No,
bit of a misleading kind of a
We'll find out here in a
label
minute.
or what they were going for there. But
It's good. The 8 recipe is good as well.
so 12 corresponds to a recipe. I maybe
Correct.
that you were going to tell us.
I did not.
As a
Go
matter of
into
fact,
that
if anybody
detail.
that has the bottle, it says right on there. It'll say right on there. It'll say the
In the-
recipe.
in fine print.
In fine
Well,
print.
and it's like Jack Daniels, which I thought we had a sign, but it might be over there.
moved
It's
it.
old number 7.
It's
It's
for-
Jack
it's above you.
Daniels,
We-
so
we-
this is
yeah.
Dickel number 12. So kind of the
Right.
same type of thing, right?
Type of thing.
Okay, so let me talk a little bit about a lot of nonsense, which is what I got today. So we had just previewed the Dickel Rye a couple months ago, so I didn't want to go into all of the history on George Dickel and all of that. So what I found interesting, because this is a Tennessee whiskey, they have a FAQ effect on their website. And it talks about some interesting things, which I thought I would bring up tonight
Okay.
Sure.
instead
Go
of
ahead.
talking about the
Absolutely.
Dickel distillery. The one question that they had on there was, what is Tennessee whiskey? So they say Tennessee whiskey differs from Kentucky bourbon.
I'm
Most
going to guess it has something to do with it.
I'd say
Made in
yes.
Tennessee.
Chris Stapleton. Let's see what he says. Good. What?
it is made in Tennessee.
There
That's
you go.
well,
you
difference
go.
number one.
Yeah.
But it differs from Kentucky bourbon mostly in the extra steps that are taken after distillation.
It's that.
Charcoal.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the steps is charcoal mellowing, which is a process in the whiskey is slowly seeped through vats packed with charcoal.
And I think that charcoal, in addition, is specifically like charred maple. If I got that right now.
Yes, most Tennessee whiskey distillers make their charcoal from aged hard sugar maple trees.
Amen.
When I was back visiting our daughters in Nashville, we went to the Belle Meade distillery, and they talked about doing that same thing. So that must just be a Tennessee thing. So
Amen.
that's, I guess they're trying. We talked about that when we talked about branding with American whiskey and how everybody's going regional. So, that's what we're talking about. Tennessee whiskey is kind of the same thing. So they're trying to have their own identity. It's made a certain way. It has certain qualities that are specifically unique. So
And the Bourbon Trail goes all the way to Tennessee, doesn't it?
yeah, you can go that way.
And I didn't realize that. As a kid, my mother would take me on vacations with her friends, and we would, female friends, by the way. That probably sounds bad too, but anyway. So me and Charlie would go. So I didn't realize it as a teenager, 16, 17 years old. But I did have the opportunity. My brother Stephen, who was a big guy for British Petroleum, he did the Olympics. So we went down to gift one of our Olympians gift, and we went down there, and it's an hour. It's a different change in time as well. So we went down there, and I happened to see the bourbon trail, which I didn't realize went. This is before I drank bourbon, actually, but I didn't realize how far it went down. But it's pretty cool.
That is cool. I didn't.
It is nice. So
you mentioned Nashville, so it kind of going back to Dickel. It is just south of Nashville. It's between Nashville and Chattanooga, actually.
Right,
so you think, I'm not really great in geography, but Louisville is up by Cincinnati, and it goes all the way down into mid Tennessee. So that's
right,
interesting.
Jack Daniels is not too far. Can't be too far from there because it's south of Nashville.
right.
Somewhere about in the middle between Chattanooga and Nashville. So.
And
Awesome.
I thought you were going to go into the story about how your mom's friends was part of the Hatfield-McCoy.
Well, that's true too. I think I talked about that at some point. So Brenda McCoy, the Hatfields and McCoy, she was actually one of the McCoys, and we were down there for 2 weeks. And me and Charlie, I drug Charlie everywhere.
Dear
I shouldn't say
Lord.
me. My mother drug Charlie everywhere too. So.
Charlie is a character. You all haven't seen him, but he's quick-witted and so stinking funny.
Makes me look like a biatch, but anyway, good guy, and we had a lot of fun. And I was at that time we were just like 14 years old when my mother drug us down there with Brenda McCoy, and it was a great experience. So we actually were at a cockfight.
Did you?
No, really?
Dude, you should have saw the guys standing there with their pants down. It was crazy. So, but anyway, so we're gonna get over that. But anyway, it got raided, and they snuck us out the back because we were underage, and we were drinking moonshine. Whole story, man.
Some
Great
things never
story.
change.
Oh my God.
He's still doing cockfights and drinking moonshine.
That's right. And I won every one too. Oh, damn it. So anyway, so we got out of there, but it was a great experience, and it was and it's funny because my partner in insurance business, his son is does tours all over the United States for whatever game that they're looking for, and the Hatfields and the McCoys. So we're talking about 3 generations later. Mm-hmm. They're still alive and well, man.
Yeah.
So cool shit. Yeah,
So
really
cool.
cool stuff.
I mean, are they still going at it?
Not as much as ever.
That's
Yeah,
kind of-
everybody, they're kind of
It's
blended
become more
together.
like a historical.
Right. I mean, that was
curiosity.
back. You're talking,
Yeah.
40 years ago.
I know
realistically.
until World War II. It was
Yeah.
still going pretty good.
So yeah, crazy stuff. But it was fun. It's something I experienced in my life, and it was good times, and it's basically epic. It's history. It
That
really
is
is
epic.
history.
That is
so,
that's.
that's cool. It's
I
real
love
cool.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So back to the whiskey. So you'll see right on the bottle of George Dickel, it says sour mash. So what is sour mash? And I know you have talked about this a little bit previously on the
Yeah,
Wizards.
most American whiskey is sour mash. It's just where you take, and it goes back to the kind of the earlier days when they didn't have quite as good as sanitation and all that. You would just take some of the bottom of the previous distillation, put it back in the fermenter, and that brought back some of the yeast and some lower pH, and that helped to kickstart the next batch. So, but in sweet mash, you don't do that, and it's a little bit harder to control. So, but with today's technology, there are a lot more distillers that are starting to go back to sweet mash.
Am I wrong to say sour mash is always the beginner of the product, so to say?
Beginner? Well, yeah. I mean, it's just the traditional method. I put
Right.
it that way. It's
Okay.
kind of the
All right.
old
Clear.
school, trusted, true method.
Right.
So what they say is that it refers to the technique used in the preparation of most, if not all, straight whiskey. So where you're thinking of the sour mash method involves seasoning a new batch of mash with some of the previous day's mash. That portion is called the back set back, or stilling
Right.
back, and it's taken from the base of the still.
Yeah.
and it may be added to the grain mash in the cooker, the yeast mash, the fermenting vessels, or all three.
Yeah.
And the sour mash process ensures that the new run of whiskey will have the exact same taste as the previous day's distillation and continuity in fermentation. So, okay, I'm going to give away some background secrets. So I was doing this before, and I was like, continuity. But I didn't know it was continuity, and I read it as what did I say? Continuity.
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 You said, what's continuity?
And he's like, continuity? You dummy. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it happens. I didn't know what.
It happens.
Shauna laughed at me for not knowing what Armageddon was.
What?
I still
It's
don't.
a movie
still
with Bruce
shoot me. I mean,
Willis.
it's not like it's the end of the world if I don't know.
Oh, shit,
I
son.
don't know.
No, you didn't.
Definition.
It's a movie with Bruce Willis, and Aerosmith had a fantastic song.
Oh, okay, all right.
Anyway.
His daughter's hot. But anyway, go ahead. What are you talking about?
What's her name? Like
I don't know. I'd pee on her.
or
Liz,
something?
what?
No, his
What's her name?
I would.
it's
I'd pee
his-
right on
Bruce
her.
Willis's daughter.
Wait,
That's a weird
no,
Pea
wait.
face.
No, wait, what did you say the name was?
Thumper or
Oh my god, that is not what I thought you said.
oh.
All right, leave it alone. Smell like cologne. Leave it alone.
I don't remember.
It's a
Smell
family
like-
show.
Smell like fish. Make it a dish. Let's do this. Come on.
So-
Okay,
Okay,
so
let me-
and
let
this
me-
is what's the proof on this whiskey?
Wait,
90.
can I talk about one more thing?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
ahead.
This is really long.
I'm sorry. I'm just the host. Leave me alone. Go ahead.
But we love you, honey. Did you have something to say?
Are you talking right now? That's your show.
It's her segment right now. But
You
Now it's
always,
Doug's show.
whoever's talking. Okay, back to the.
Oh,
back in.
shit. Go ahead. I'm just playing. Go
So
ahead.
this is something, and Greg, you and I have had some discussion on this because of some mishaps that have happened in the past.
It was sexual, but we got through it. Go ahead.
I don't turn red often, but anyway, should a corked bottle be turned on its side?
If it's unopened, absolutely.
and if you're talking natural cork, right?
Yeah,
Natural
natural cork.
cork.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's open,
And you know,
I
you've had several drams out of it at that
right.
point. It
You
doesn't
know,
really matter.
but I still, in my personal opinion, which I do here, any natural cork bottle that I have on the bar, I still will count to 5 back and forth, but because you want that cork to swell, you want it to always stay natural. We have a friend, Elliot,
Elliot.
who has brought many bottles over, and I've had to retrieve the broken corks. I'm like, listen, Elliot, I love you. I know you're Jewish, but at the same time, you have to open these bottles every once in a while. Where I've replaced those cork bottles with rubber stoppers, so to say. Anyway,
You just did it the other day.
makes me out of my mind. But Greg, you're not going to believe this, but the cork broke. But anyway, go ahead. Just saying.
Anyway, yes, you're supposed to put it on its side because you want to make sure it doesn't break or flake when you want to open it.
Sure, it swells. It creates a better seal. It keeps the cork as it should. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so we answered that question, the age-old question.
But if it's a screw-on cap, it really doesn't matter, right?
Or some, like we were saying before the show,
Synthetic.
some of the synthetic
A
corks.
lot of corks are synthetic these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you got
so
more?
I'm sorry. No, let's just break back into the Dickel. So you had asked me what proof this is. This is a 90 proof.
Right. Okay.
The mash bill is 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. And the char, it's a number 4 barrel with a number 2 head. So
Barrel top.
if you think of the
different
barrel,
char level on the
yeah,
lid and the butt as there is on the barrel. So
sorry. Yes, exactly. So we have talked a lot about doing a show on charring barrels, and it's very interesting, I think,
Yeah.
all of the charring. But basically, the number char, for those of you that don't know, is basically how long that barrel is burned. Number 4 char is what they call the classic alligator char, and it's 55 seconds in a char being burned, basically.
Not to be confused with toasting. Which
Totally
is what
different.
happens in an oven to the whole barrel before charring.
Exactly. So I guess we can just kind of. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Mash bill. Do you have the mash bill?
I did. 84% corn,
Oh, got
8% rye, 8% malted barley.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We had talked about it's called George Dickel 12. It's not because it's 12 year.
Yeah, it's not a 12-year statement. for sure.
It's anywhere between 6 and 8 years.
I have 8 to 10 on what I'm looking at.
Okay, 6 to 10. Here we go.
All right.
Anyway.
So what do we got on the scroll, kids, before we get into this?
Oh, you know what? We have not talked about our scroll. Look at all of this.
Oh, my goodness. We have like
Watch.
3 people on. That's
Jennifer
beautiful.
Boggs.
Both of our fans are on. Hey, guys. Lots of people.
Hi,
on.
Guy. No,
Yeah.
there's no S in. We have one guy, one girl. No, I'm just kidding.
I got to give a shout out. Let me give a couple of shout outs.
Go ahead, honey bunny.
Lauren's on. Wow, I didn't think she's
All right.
going to make it.
Rich, thanks for watching. We got a project going on. Things are going well, and we'll just keep moving forward. My brother, Steven. All right. So, Steven, I just want to make sure that everything is clear. So it's you, Justin, Urbano, and what's your gay friend's name? Donnelly. He's in the house. So I hope that he's learned how to ride a bicycle. But anyway, hope he's feeling better.
Is that the
So,
story?
shh, leave it alone. Smell like cologne? Leave it alone.
I know the story, Donnelly.
And
All right.
my Rollin' Smoke barbecue boy, Derek Pilarchuk. What's up, kids?
Has he got the boys with him?
They're riding their dirt bikes right now.
No way.
Surprise, surprise.
We got
Right.
both,
Those kids have no fear.
We have both
I can't wait to
Jennifer-
see them at 18 years old.
And he broke his leg or his arm or something. He's still
Oh,
going.
it was stupid, but that kid was out there in a cast riding that motor. I'll never forget it. Love that kid.
We have both
He's got good kids. I love their.
Jennifer Boggs on and Lauren Slater, both who will play a role in next week's Women in Whiskey show. So.
And Jennifer said, "Is
She'll
that
be here, right? She's coming in, right?
Jen will be
Jen,
on the
Janice?
show.
Yeah, that's my girl."
All right, John.
So Jennifer said, "Is that some Maker's wood finishing I see there?"
Yeah, 2 different ones. We have. Let me look here. We have. Believe this. The 2021 is the fall, and I believe this one, the Woodman's Breadwinner, I believe is the spring edition. So I actually have these, along with all of the stuff that goes with the stave collection. I have every single bottle, and I have them, and I can't remember, and I think I kind of screwed it up. I'm going to revisit it at some time, but I think I have one. I know for a fact I have one of these, each of these bottles, in with either the spring and the other one in with the fall. But I think I might have mixed them up. But anyway, I'll figure that out later. But yes, that's what I have. That's what I'm drinking.
And those are really high proof because I remember when we tried
They
those,
are.
I thought they were hot.
They are. Plus, I have a bunch of the Maker's Mark Selects as well. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of those as well, and I collected them for a lot of years. And I won't say unfortunately, but sometimes you just pull a bottle out when the time is right, and you drink it up, man. That's
Kind of
what
like
it is.
with me, it's just kind of like the Jack Daniel's number 7.
Right.
Not a big fan, but their specialty releases
Mm-hmm.
are great. It's the same with me with Maker's Mark.
I go.
Standard is not something I enjoy, but their specialty stuff is really nice.
I go back to the clam bake back in November, and I pull some stuff out that people were blown away that they never had. They didn't even know that it would, they couldn't even get it, and that was a great time. So, I am more relaxed on bringing bottles out than I've ever been, and you know that for a fact. So, but you know what? It's not a race who can drink the most and the fastest. It's about good friends, cigars, and just hanging out and having a good time and some good food. So, and we experienced that.
Yeah.
And your family did, and it was great times. So anyway,
I think
We'll do it again.
we
Good
will
whis-
do it again.
good
Absolutely.
whiskey is to be shared with good friends.
Maybe I can get my Texas boys, Justin and Urbano. Urbano's watching as well. A Cleveland fan. He actually grew up in Cleveland, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
My brother Steven. So maybe I can get all those cats together for a clam bake if they are are willing, and we'll have some fun like we always do. So
That's one of the things too. I have a really nice bottle of whiskey or something rare, and it's really hard to just break into that, right? But I tell myself, that's what it's for.
I agree.
It's to be enjoyed, not to put it on a shelf like a trophy. That's just me. I mean, there are collectors that
I will
really
never
want rare things.
I will never put my great selections on the bar as a trophy. I will always pack them in a box and tape it 3 times.
So, but you know what I mean? Like
I do. I'm just busting your chops, man.
But I'm not also going to be the guy that wants to buy that, $12,000. Even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy like a $12,000.
I would never.
Scotch
I would
so
never
I could show it off. I mean,
spend anything.
Anyway,
I can give a crap about all that stuff. So.
No, and that's a good show we should do. Is some of the bottom shelf whiskeys that we've had that we really enjoyed.
Yeah,
because
sure.
You don't have to spend.
There's
an
a lot
arm
out
and a
there.
leg.
Sure, absolutely. We talk about that all the time on the radio show.
well, these Dickels, we already did one, and this is another one. We haven't tasted it yet.
Well, I
but,
think we did the chill. We
these
did
are
the chill.
very
We did the
affordable
rye.
whiskeys.
We did the chill rye, and I think my brother Steven, I was just talking to him
fantastic.
today,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. The 12 is fantastic. The 8 is fantastic. I haven't had anything else with those 3, but right now I'm impressed. I mean, I don't know a lot about Tennessee whiskey, so to say, except for the song. But at the end of the day, nothing has disappointed me yet. So
Right.
There's so much banter back and
Go
forth.
ahead, what do you got?
If I could just please get to
Yeah,
it.
sure.
So we were talking about Jennifer Boggs. Yes, that was the makers. She is drinking a new release of Bardstown Pfeiffer Favet.
Yeah, well, she
What?
she talks about that on our Wizard episode next week. But yeah, I was almost going to surprise her with something, but she's already got it, I suppose.
well, Jennifer,
She
I
hasn't
will
played,
I
man.
will pay for that bottle if you bring a bottle up.
She has also something special for us that we've talked about on the show in the past, but we'll say
Bottled
that for-
water?
Yeah.
Is that what the name of it?
No,
Okay,
it's
just
a
check.
bottle we talked about doing.
Eau
on
de
the show.
Toilette.
Oh. Toilet water. Oh, anyway.
Georgia will be thrilled.
Oh, she'll
Okay.
love it.
Yeah.
So we've got somebody on here that we haven't seen in a while. Mark Nicastro, Rawhide Firearms.
Mark, one of our sponsors.
Mark, welcome
Rawhide
back.
Mark, we were
Firearms.
just talking about you before the show. After we get all set up, we were just talking about you.
Were your corns burning?
Were your corns burning, son? Shit. Anyway, Mark, great guy. We didn't do
Anyway, let's hear it for Rawhide Firearms.
Rawhide
Real
Firearms.
sponsor.
Let's do it. Amen.
Great
Mark,
guy.
I
Great guy.
want you back on the show. Great guy. We miss our breakfast. So we have to put something together with that
Cracker
as well.
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, brother. So
Well, we're getting
hoping.
a little bit. Oh no, I guess we're okay. We're getting a
Turn
little
up the
bit-
volume on
but we need
Doug's
to do our-
mic.
We're ready to do some stuff. Oh, what are you doing?
How that could be because
Yeah, they say turn up the volume on Doug's mic, and RJ
Okay,
is out
that's
there.
RJ, I think is RJ
We have to
flying
do a
or is
whole-
he home? I'm not sure.
Let's
I
see.
think he's flying,
heard
man.
him say he's there. Where did it go? Where did it go?
If I'd known he's home, I would have kidnapped his
Anyway,
ass.
I hope you
yesterday.
can hear me now.
Can you hear?
Alright.
Can you hear Doug now? Can you hear him now? Okay.
All right, well, let's taste this whiskey.
All
Shall
right, let's
we?
get in it.
Oh yeah,
get in
let's do this.
All right.
Do you have tasting and nose notes? I do not have those tonight. I could pull them up real quick while we're passing this out, if you would like.
I have. Well, there is something here. So yeah, I can do that.
Let me see what I can find.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
All right, I'm
I
ready.
do get.
Did you get all cleaned out?
Tell you. I'll just leave it alone. What I was gonna say, I'll just leave it alone. The audience isn't ready for that.
There was a whole bunch of comments that I had to leave out, but we can read those later.
Please
What do you
do.
expect? This is the Whiskey Roundtable.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Deary dear.
I'm getting vanilla. I do get like
We in the nosing? Let's do it.
butterscotch, and I'm getting like a lot of light fruit.
We're nosing. We're not snorting. Easy there, Hoss.
Get like some, I don't know, pear, light fruit.
I didn't even pregame.
You want
How
to
did-
start?
How did I
Not
get
a
to this
lot.
point? I
It's
didn't
got a
even
lot
pregame.
going on.
What do you mean you didn't pregame?
Wait,
What is
that's not
this?
Stop. Stick to the show. You're killing me.
Sorry, Doug. It's all you. Go back. If it wasn't for Doug, we'd be all over the place.
Doug, I didn't hear what you had said, but I get vanilla out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I'm getting a lot of fruit and some
Yeah.
butterscotch. It's a very, very nice, some kind of honey candy kind of.
Yeah.
I get honey out of it for sure.
It's more that
fun.
sweet caramel smell. I don't get a lot of the fruit that we did out of the cake last week and that kind of stuff. I'm definitely more on butterscotch, caramel.
It's really quite nice.
I'm knocking on the door of butterscotch, but I'm not 100% sold. It's good. It smells. The nose is fantastic, man.
It is very, very
it really
good.
is. I got a couple.
Okay, so I'm not looking at the tasting.
Oh,
so
my
when you guys
goodness.
are ready, what do you got, Karen?
I'm gonna stay with the caramel and the butterscotch and the oak on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay with what I. Go ahead.
I is orange caramel. Yes, definitely has an orange tint to it. More so than a lot of whiskeys. Nose. In this one, this review says corn is prominent. Sweet notes of vanilla, candied citrus, and butterscotch fudge. Coming through honey, candy, simple syrup, dried orchard fruit. A touch of wood and rich, but not cloying sweetness backfills the aroma, making it simply winning to sniff. I mean, it is very pleasurable on the
It
nose.
is heavy. It's heavy.
There's not none of that alcohol bite in the back of your nose.
No, but
It's
look
very approachable.
Look at the legs.
Nicely, yeah,
Very
nice legs
nice.
on that.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is great. A great thing in a bourbon. Okay, let's taste, shall we?
All right, let's give it a taste.
So, what we've been waiting for, kids.
Good
Wow.
stuff.
Again, yeah. I'm impressed.
For a 90 proof, it tastes a lot more than a 90 proof. And what I get right off the bat is coconut.
I don't
Some
get any.
tropical fruit.
Yeah.
I get all fruit out of it.
Yeah.
I do. I get all fruit out of it.
I get a little corn, and I definitely get some more of that caramel and vanilla. A little
That's
more
so-
wood. I'm getting a little more wood on the.
Whoa.
Easy.
Whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
let me
whoa,
move
whoa.
over.
I've had wood for the last 45 minutes. But anyway, couldn't tell because I got sweatpants on.
Down, cowboy.
Sorry,
maybe a
Doug.
little, just a touch of
Little tip of this.
fruit, some light fruit in there.
No, I think the taste is very different from the nose. So
It is. It really is.
I got a lot of the, like I said, the caramel and the
Yeah.
butterscotch on the nose, but I get more fruit on the palate.
I do. I get a ton of fruit on the palate.
Yeah, it's but
I
wasn't. There's nothing here that was a big surprise after nosing it. I mean, still got a lot of that caramel, vanilla, definite fruit. I get more wood on the palate than
Could you stop saying that?
I don't.
when I'm mouthing it. It's definitely.
I don't. So usually I talk about long finish and short finish. It's not quite long and it's not quite short. The finish,
I would agree. It's more
Yeah, it's in the
short than long.
Yeah.
Medium?
but it's okay. Medium finish. I won't say it's a long finish. I won't say it's a short. But yeah, okay. But it's very
Okay. It says here cinnamon moves in with corn. I said corn. Caramel and citrus with vanilla, wood, and a touch of char and leather. Rich
Okay.
sweetness.
I'll go with the
back
leather.
notes of some grain, dried fruit, and ambiguous spice.
Ambiguous spice.
I don't
No
get.
coconut,
I don't.
huh?
I don't.
No, but
if you're
you know,
talking
there's,
about
I can get citrus. I don't really get the citrus either, but I do. I can, I can see where you'd say tropical fruit. There's a light fruitiness that's
It is.
not quite. It's not like apple. It's not something really identifiable. It's kind of a light.
Well, you
tropical.
know, sometimes smoking cigars, that you don't
Yeah.
always get everything that you want to get. But
It's still a good compliment.
if you sit down and start with a cigar and get into it a little bit early,
It's
you
more
can-
for the enjoyment
Sure.
of the two, as we'll talk about in
Exactly.
those episodes. But yeah, if you're really going to taste a whiskey, you would do it before the cigar.
Sure. That's
Finish.
I'm sorry. Every time you mention wood, Donnelly gets a little excited.
oh
so
well.
could you tone it down?
Surprise!
And Mark says, Doug, quit mouthing the wood, would you?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
See, this is what happens
Yeah.
when Shauna doesn't show up with him. He gets all crazy about the wood.
I know.
I'm not leaving here until I lick that wood.
Jennifer, no nutskins tonight.
Oh.
I get no nutskins.
Yeah.
Wait, come on, do it. Come on, you got it.
What?
Are you going for a sound effect there?
Yeah, but it's not cooperating.
It's not cooperating.
Okay.
I mean, technical difficulties.
Message received.
All right. So finish we talked about. It's kind of a medium. Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's
got a really good mouthfeel. It's
It does.
not whether there's wood in there or not.
it's good. And the reality is, for the money, $22 bottle.
Is that all it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's you can't say enough. I mean, for a $22 bottle of whiskey, this is.
And the
I
eight,
highly recommend this.
the 8 recipe is very good
And
as
I'll
well.
bet you could taste test. You could do a blind taste test. Put that in there with a lot of high-priced bourbons, and a lot of people might pick this. That's
agree.
what I feel.
I agree with
It's
that.
got a lot going on. There's nothing objectionable. There's no off flavors. It's got a nice complexity, good mouth. I mean, it's a really enjoyable whiskey. It's, well, we'll get into the scoring, but
Yeah,
we'll have
absolutely.
To say, but,
Sure.
But I'm very impressed with it. But I think it's time for another bottle cam. Just
Bottle
so everybody
cam.
remembers what we're talking about here.
That's right, because we can't forget the actual product.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
All right, bottle cam.
All right. So rating time.
Rating time.
Who's going first?
So, can I just ask again? You said what was the price on this?
Like $22.
$22.
And readily available.
Absolutely. The 8 years readily available as well.
Yeah, I gotta
Actually,
say,
to be quite honest with you, the rye chill, the 12-year and the 8-year are all readily available here in Ohio. So
well, when we go to the Whiskey Wizard, I'm definitely gonna refill on that. Very enjoyable. So
$2.
I'll go first. I usually don't go first.
Go ahead.
So I'll go
Listen.
first. I really like this, and we have a lot of, I'll call, higher priced whiskeys on this show, and I gotta score this one pretty well. I can't go all the way to 4, but I'm really impressed with it. For a 22, if I was weighting based on price, it would definitely be above a 4. But just overall in the field of whiskeys, I still think it's very good. I'm going to give it a 3.85.
Very respectable score.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very respectable score. So let's kind of go out of order here. Greg, what do you think?
3.7.
Wow, we're in the same ballpark.
3.7. Look at you guys. Gosh, you know what? This is really difficult for me to rate. I try to take in everything into consideration, what it tastes like versus what it smells like versus what you pay for it.
Sure.
Because I think all of that really does matter. Gosh, this is so difficult for me. I'm right there with both of you. I'm gonna go 375.
Okay. All right. Marin, you got a
I really liked it. 3.9.
3.9.
Oh,
Damn.
Damn, Loch Ness Monster.
Damn, girl.
3.9 for Maryland. Okay, almost.
Marion.
I
Marianne.
mean, Marion. Maryland.
We just got to bust your chops. Go ahead.
Somebody's got to do
Yeah.
it.
All
It's
right.
a dirty job. But
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Marion gives it a 3.9. All right, well, she definitely likes it.
So, and I would say, because I've been scoring pretty high lately, because I think I'm just getting used to whiskeys and bourbons, because I'm really, really starting to like them.
Yeah.
And we always say if it's a 4, it is something that should be on your shelf. And
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing as a co-host of a whiskey show.
You should
It's
probably
good
have
that
that.
you should probably like
Whiskeys.
whiskeys.
Getting to like whiskey.
Used to, yeah, I know. I don't know if I can call myself Helen Keller anymore.
Oh, shit.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, we can. We can call you that.
Yeah. I'm probably going to need like Karen Ditzy Keller or something next.
No, I'll leave it alone.
Karen Helen Keller, you really got it, sister.
There we go.
Smell like cologne, leave it alone. Let's do it.
You guys just threw me off. I forgot what I was going to say. Dang
Okay,
you.
you were talking about.
No,
your
if it's
scoring
something
high
on my
lately.
shelf,
Yeah,
if it, if it's a 4, it would be something I would want to have
Yeah.
on my shelf. I really think this is something that's good. Just have it there. You have company over. You want to, just kind of spread it around and not be.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with that. And the reason I agree with that is just because, sometimes, people come over just to drink, okay?
And it's good and perfect when they
like
just get out.
like RJ, he likes to come over and drink my San Pellegrino water, and I was like, dude, what are you doing, And the Rev too, same thing. The Rev,
heard about that.
The RJ and the Rev, they come over and they just want to drink the Pellegrino. It makes me crazy. But anyway, that's a whole joke. But that's between us three. He'll get it. But listen, I have a lot of product. You have a lot of product. Okay. We like to share. We like to do a lot of different things, but sometimes you get people that just don't. They're just there to drink, So, but you got something like a Dickel 12 or an 8 or the rye chill or whatever.
Yeah.
For the money, I'll burn through that all the time. That's what's good about like Jim Beam. The products are great. And everybody enjoys them, and I don't care if they drink it up because it's not a $80 bottle or $110 bottle. You know that. I mean,
Right, yeah.
you know where we're at with that. But anyway, great
Yeah,
product, man. Great product.
It is.
It's got everything to me going on that you want in a good bourbon. So it's a good. I would have it on hand just for those times when I just want to have a bourbon. I don't really need to do any fancy tasting. I'm just watching TV or whatever, and I just want to have a dram. It's a perfect whiskey
Absolutely,
for that.
absolutely.
So and hell, if I want to mix it with something, fine. So anyway, anyway, based on our scores, we definitely liked it here on the whiskey roundtables. So that's the George Dickel
Number
12.
All right, well,
So
what we got on the scroll, and then we'll get to the Whiskey
Let's go
Wizard,
with
no?
Everyone got a little quiet. I think they stepped back and drank
just-
with us while
yes.
we were drinking.
Yes.
But Rob, our Wisconsin friend, said he is relaxing and enjoying whiskey.
All right,
right,
Rob,
like, do we
that's it.
know if Rob is going to be able to make the?
We don't know. We'll talk about that.
talk
Rob,
about that later.
obviously, Rob, you're listening. We talked about, we're getting into some Canadian stuff. We talked about Canadian Club Rye. And as far as if you're shopping, just 4 bottles of the rye. I'm not going to, anyway, you know what I mean.
And we know you're
But
not Canadian, but
we
you're
know you're not
Wisconsin,
Canadian.
so
You're the
you're close
closest
enough.
we have
So, we want you to be on the show. So we want to, I think you're coming back next week, if I remember correctly, but let me know what's going on with that, and we'll do our thing. So.
Yeah, we're doing Canadian whiskey show, as you heard on the promo, on the 14th of May. So that if Rob was going to be a guest, that would be a great time.
So, Rob's schedule is like a bad marriage, complicated. So,
but
we have to see what he's got
If it
going
worked
on.
out, it
Sure.
would be great.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And Rob would be all into that as
Sure.
well.
Okay.
Great guy, he's a good dude. So
All right. Well, it's time for the Whiskey Wizard, I guess.
let's do it, kids.
Time
All right.
for the Whiskey Wizard.
Very
We'll
unique
see
show
you
today.
Back in
See
in a
you-
few minutes.
We'll see you back tomorrow.
I'll still Winnebago again.
Whiskey Wizard. It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Good evening. On past episodes, we've talked about the differences between blended Scotch and Irish whiskey and Scottish and Irish single malt whiskey. Tonight I want to talk about whiskey blending. I admit that whiskey aficionados have often turned up their noses at blended whiskeys, and truthfully, I've been a bit in that camp. Still, by and large, blended whiskey spirits still outsell the other categories. Why is that? And one of the more revered and quite pricey whiskey brand offerings, Johnnie Walker Blue, is of course a blended whiskey product. Other blended brands like Dewer Signature also have their expensive premium offerings. So why the bad rap amongst many big whiskey fans and purists? Okay, before we get into all that, let's quickly recap what we mean by a blended whiskey. A blended whiskey is the product of blending the various offerings of different distilleries with the addition of some amount of neutral grain spirit. For blended Scotch, its whiskeys must be aged at a minimum of 3 years. If it carries an age statement, that must represent the age of the youngest whiskey in the blend. Usually this blending stays within a whiskey category, i.e. all Scottish whiskies, Irish, or American whiskies. A Scottish whiskey that is a mixture of only single malts but no neutral grain spirit is considered a vatted malt. Some refer to a mix of only single malts as a blended malt. Johnnie Walker's green label is actually an example of a vatted or blended malt. Blended whiskey is most often a reference to Scottish whiskey to distinguish the products from single malt spirits. Single malt, of course, refers to a whiskey produced from 100% malted barley made at a single distillery. Blending is generally where these expensive single malt whiskeys are mixed with less expensive spirits. High proof spirit or neutral grain spirit with much less aging time is less expensive to produce. This is where the perception of less quality often arises amongst whiskey fans. Examples of blended whiskeys include Chivas, Dewar's, Pure Scott, and Johnnie Walker for Scotch, Jameson's on the Irish side, Seagram's and Kessler on the American home front, and Canadian Club north of the border. Besides reducing cost, the other reasons for producing a blended whiskey product is consistency. By expertly blending a mixture of whiskeys, the blender can obtain a saleable product that is highly consistent, whereby the consumer can be assured of the same tasting pour time after time. In contrast, single malts by their nature can vary in terms of aging time, seasonable variations during aging, different mixes of barrels, each one unlike the other, and a multitude of other factors. These factors make each bottle of the product much more unique and less consistent, although this is another reason for their attraction to single malt appreciators. Still, whiskey blenders are generally extremely well-schooled experts that earn their positions through years of hard knocks, serving under those that passed on the skills of the trade to them. In addition, they need to pass rigorous testing to demonstrate that they have a sensitive and discerning enough nose and sense of taste. So it seems some are born with the aptitude while others may never develop the skill, regardless of their desire, training, and level of effort. And blenders tend to stay employed because of the variability with single distillery products. The incoming products used for blends are always changing, and the blender must be able to sense these changes and make adjustments in response to maintain the desired product consistency. Blenders must be able to pick up hundreds of compounds when nosing and tasting whiskey. A blend making operation has a lot more laboratory fussiness involved around analyzing not only nose and taste, but clarity, gravity, or density, and color as well. A blender may painstakingly balance a touch of smoky Isla with a softer lowland whiskey, and then enriching it all with the fruity elegance of a sherry cask finished Speyside. Then perhaps even a touch of a deep, spicy, rich Highlander, and so on. So in the case of a good many products, we can't say that blended whiskeys are not made with the same level of care and attention. It's the goal of consistency that makes blended whiskey so successful with consumers, I think. And yes, to some undeniable extent, it's the reduced cost of some releases from the examples that we mentioned earlier and what they typically offer the consumer. I recently watched a blender for Compass Box brag that their blended offerings are 75% single malt whiskeys, and so malt-based as opposed to most blends out there. Meaning, of course, most are high-proof grain spirit-based, and this is generally why malt whiskey lovers stay clear of them. Still, there are some revered blended whiskeys. Johnny Walker Blue, for example, often selling for close to $200 a bottle. Is it worth that? I don't know. I would certainly buy something else for that much coin, but still, it obviously has its fans and folks seem to want to pay for it. In fact, we plan to do a future blind tasting test on the Whiskey Roundtable to put it to the test. A lot of drinkers like Chivas' high-end blend, and this Doer Signature that Big G got me for Christmas is, I have to say, quite a special dram that I keep looking forward to enjoying, no doubt about it. For a past milestone birthday, my wife bought me and some of my friends a private Johnny Walker tasting event at a local establishment. The Walker folks really defended their blended products, saying that they use the neutral grain spirit as their canvas upon which they paint with all the colors of Scottish whiskey expression available to them that comprise their immense flavor palette. Well, I don't know about all of that, but we did have a really enjoyable afternoon. As I said, I did really enjoy some of their offerings. I can't deny it. As we've discussed in past Wizard episodes, in the American whiskey market, more and more contract distillers are creating their own blends of American whiskeys from a range of distillery offerings or made to specification products. So, okay, let's admit it, a blended product, just another way to express this thing we love, called whiskey. But if you are serious about whiskey, I'd recommend that you stick to the premium offerings out there and do a little research first. What they may lack in subtle variability and that unique one-of-a-kind expression, some surely make up for with a rich, skillfully crafted and balanced mix of quality spirits, providing yet another avenue of dependable flavor and sipping enjoyment. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard, for the Whiskey Roundtable. Cheers, Slanjava, and now back to the live show.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at what we were talking about off camera, so we're good.
Yeah,
Doug,
excellent.
any words of wisdom you want to say after the
episode
there?
Are we done already?
Well, yeah, blended. Just
about his whiskey.
You know, it's still
Okay.
they're not the favorite things in my collection generally, but you know, they do have their place, and there are some really good ones, like the one I got for Christmas. And, you know, we all know
Glad
about
you
Johnny
liked it.
Walker Blue, and so there are good ones out there. I still think those are more novelties, as you will,
Sure.
where they're really going with high-end single malts. In the case of Johnny Walker Blue, there's just enough grain whiskey in there that they can call it a blended.
Did
But yeah,
we talked like at Christmas time. We got you the Doers, and that's an obsolete
The
product.
signature, yeah.
Which
Signature.
you were sitting
Obsolete
tableside
product.
with.
And that they stopped making that in 2017. I just got lucky and fell into those. I mean,
Helen Keller.
and I'm not a Scotch guy. I'm not a Scotch guy. But when we had found that, we definitely were like, the Wizard has to have that. So and they're not cheap.
Enjoying it, and it's
Sure,
and,
and
so
drink it.
and that's really what actually made me think of doing the episode. We've talked about the different types, and between blended and single. We've talked about all that, but we didn't really. I felt like blended whiskey deserved its own show.
Sure.
On Whiskey Wizard to really talk about
Absolutely.
it. Because there is a lot of these distillers go to a lot of effort on a lot of their blended products, and they're not all just crap. But there are cheaper offerings out there that we can all think of, right?
Sure,
Where they're
absolutely.
just bottom shelf things, but which have a lot. They're grain based, grain spirit based, and not. But anyway, there are some good ones out there, and they're worthy of. Some spot on your shelf as well. So.
I agree.
And that's kind of what our guest last week, Fabio, was talking about too.
Right. Yeah, he started with them and then graduated.
Graduated.
Oh shit, son.
I'm smart.
Yeah.
Don't like everyone says.
I you got a continuity with it.
Amen.
That's right. Jennifer Bugg said, "Very interesting whiskey wizard." So thank you very much, Doug.
Thank you.
So what else we got on the
Give
scroll?
yourself a round of applause.
Well, we'll let what did Siri think of that?
That certainly doesn't suck.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Certainly
let's
doesn't
do it.
suck.
All right.
Okay. So, any news? G, do you want to kick us off with some whiskey news? Or
Well,
should I start while you...
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll roll in.
All right, I'll do a few, and then we'll bring you in. Bluegrass Distillers, a craft distiller out of Lexington, has announced the release of their first ever bottled and bond wheated bourbon. The small batch release will use Bluegrass's wheated mash bill of 75% corn, 21% wheat, and 4% malted barley. It's a blend of 4 barrels aged at 4.5 years. It's a small batch. There are about 920 bottles available. Oh, okay, so I'm sure that'll be easy to get here in Ohio.
Yeah, right.
Cole Ela, my favorite distillery, as you know,
Yeah,
they're on Isla. There's another, we talked about these private bottlers. There's another one called Watt Whiskey. I'm not as familiar with, but I found a lot of news on them for some reason this week, and they've just been releasing product. They have a 10-year-old Cole Ela from this indie bottler Watt Whiskey. So matured in hogsheads for a decade before being bottled in 2021. So, and G, you ready to go?
I am. So, want to own the oldest believed bottle of bourbon by release year, not barrel age, in the world. All right. So let me say that again. Want to own the oldest believed bottle of bourbon by release year, not barrel age, in the world. So here we go.
Yeah. So,
You will soon have your chance, as this extremely rare price of whiskey history will be up for grabs June 2022 to June 30th via Skinner Auctioneers. All right.
I'm sorry. Can we back
Go ahead.
up? Is that June 22nd or June 2022? I want to make sure I'm
June 22nd,
Okay.
sorry,
No, that's okay.
dash June
the
30th via
okay.
Skinner Auctioneers. So you know where this is going.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
The label, old. I don't even know how to pronounce that. What is that?
Continuity? Oh no, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit,
No, I'm sorry. What do you got?
Englandeau whiskey.
Ingledew whiskey.
Englandeau whiskey was bottled by Evans and Raglan in LaGrange, Georgia, in the 1860s, as the bourbon itself is believed to have been made in the late 1700s.
Oh, get out of
my
here.
gosh.
All right.
Okay.
right.
Late 1700s.
So, do pick up a bottle of that next time around.
Yeah, Mark Nicastro, that is right up your history alley. So, come on, dude. What do you say? Let's go to an auction.
Right. So, the anticipated price of the rarest whiskey, so to say, is anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000.
Yeah, maybe not so much.
That's it, man. How about that?
That one's
shit?
definitely not going to be on the bar for
Hey,
everyone.
Big G, that's really quite damn impressive.
Listen, if I had that kind of money, I'd have a new wife tomorrow. But anyway, ow. Oh, you didn't hit me yet.
There's some wood again.
No, I don't do anything on camera where I can be, what do you call that? Indicted later. Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You got some more?
Oh, what? Oh.
No,
that,
go ahead. Go
yeah.
next. I'll go again. Go ahead.
So Watt Whiskey, that independent bottler again, has another release, 2005 Highland Single Malt from a mystery distillery, matured in refill sherry butts for 16 years before being bottled in 2021. So these are all new releases. Doesn't say how many bottles of that they have. It's just, I'm guessing there's must be enough of them because the price is 87 pounds, so I don't know, $92, something like that, or 95. Dewar's, speaking of blended whiskey, I thought I'd throw this in. They come out with their 8-year-old Caribbean Smooth, blended from 40 different single malts and grain whiskeys, and aged individually again and married together, all before being finished in the finest Caribbean ex-rum casks. So there you go. I'm sure you can find that at all your local stores.
I don't know, but every time Doug talks, he's talking about wood and butts. That's all I hear the whole night.
What about nutskins?
No, that's Jennifer's territory.
Jennifer, I love you, girl.
What are we doing? Okay, we're past.
All right.
I've got more, but we'll save some of these. There's a lot of good stuff going on in the world of whiskey. So, a rock star is releasing some bourbon.
Who's that? Can I hear? Who?
Huh?
Who? What rocks?
John Petrucci, the great guitarist. So
I never heard of him. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's very good, but I just don't know
we
him.
can tell you who he is next week.
Absolutely, I want to hear about that.
All right, as
got
the
a lot
official.
going on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, as the official bourbon of the Kentucky Derby, Woodford Reserve has a slew of Derby traditions, including the $1,000 mint julep,
Oh yeah.
which raises money for a great cause every year. So
$1,000. I better get a real good buzz off of that, man.
So when is the Derby?
I'm sorry.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
It's
right?
tomorrow.
I was going to say the first.
So anybody in Kentucky that wants to grab a $1,000 drink of mint julep,
Wow.
have
Well,
yourself,
I
man.
gotta maybe rearrange my plans. I forgot about that, but yes, we gotta be watching that.
Amen.
We gotta have our bourbon. It's tradition to have a nice bourbon and watch.
I have some Woodford bourbons that I'm taking tomorrow for the party at Royal Havana Cigars.
You got a special edition. It doesn't.
Well, the drink is still the same. It's the label that makes it traditional. So every year, Woodford, which is the actual whiskey of the Kentucky Derby, along with other distilleries, so to say, but Woodford is the actual number one in place. So every year they change the label, if that makes sense to you.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
So I happen to, in the last couple of years, I have bought those bottles, but we drank them. We didn't ever talk about them, but whatever. So this year...
We were thirsty.
We were thirsty. So, so this year I have a bottle of the, because we're going to the party tomorrow, and I have one of those bottles of the Woodford Reserve label, the new label, so to say,
Very
and
nice.
some other trinkets for the Royal Havana Club. So we're going to do our
We
thing.
like trinkets.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. That's all I got, dog.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you all for watching. If you're with us here live, or if you're watching this later on, we'll be back again next week at our usual time. That's Friday, May the 7th. And what's going on next week?
I don't know. What day is it?
It's our Mother's Day special.
It's our ladies.
Is this Mother's Day
It's
next
our
week?
our special ladies edition for Mother's Day weekend.
Can I give a shout out to my mother?
Sure.
Happy Mother's Day.
Shout
Go
down
ahead.
to your mother. You have a-
No. Sorry, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. I love you.
Stoke the fire. It's getting a little cold up
Yeah,
here.
that's right. Devil called me up yesterday and said, like, man, you got to get rid of this bitch. I'm just going to... Go ahead.
Don't
Sorry.
forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. If you haven't done that already, follow us on Facebook. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to be a guest on the show, you can comment on Facebook or email us directly at thewhiskeyroundtable@gmail.com. And I have a closing quote for tonight. Yes. This is from the famous baseball manager, the famous Casey Stengel. He said, "They complain that the stars on my team drink a lot of whiskey, but I found that the consistently sober ones that are drinking milkshakes don't help us win many ball games." So there you go.
There's a lesson to be learned there,
There's a lesson
folks.
in there
Amen.
about whiskey and high performance, folks. So
All right.
See Pete Rose, if you just would have done the whiskey, it would have been okay.
there
All right.
we go.
All right. Should I close this
All
out?
right, you
Yeah.
take us out.
Thanks for watching the Whiskey Roundtable today. You guys have a safe weekend. I hope the weather is good for wherever you're at. And I am your host, Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar, and enjoy the Kentucky Derby. We'll see you next week, folks.
And Browns, get some good picks this weekend.
Cleveland
Yours
Browns,
too.
go boys. I'm sorry. Did I just throw that finger out? I'm sorry.
Hasta Winnebago.
All right.
We'll see
Catch you next week, kids.
So long,
Thanks for
folks.
watching. Bye-bye.
If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing numbs the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped, oh. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I never get over you. Whiskey stopped working.